All right, we're moving on then. City of San Antonio has invested quite a bit of money here at the Pearl. It was basically an old abandoned industrial complex here. They've turned it into something, bringing in some tax dollars for the city, I am sure. If you guys stop into any of these shops here, if you've been in any of them, you know it's a little bit pricey up here. So I don't do a whole lot of shopping up here myself. Before COVID, they would have some free concerts in the courtyard just to the right of us. And I did come to quite a few of those free concerts because that's my favorite kind of concert after all. That also happens to be my favorite kind of food, you guys. I feel like it's important for y'all to know that. During Prohibition, they turned the brewery here into a canning plant, a laundromat, and an ice cream parlor. And some people think they were bootlegging here during Prohibition, and I'm not sure if that is true or not. What we do know, though, is that the day after Prohibition was rescinded, the once again Pearl Brewery was somehow able to ship 25 train cars full of Pearl beer. I like to think they just came into work early that day and worked really, really hard. That's what I would have done anyway. Coming up here, after we turn left, we'll see the river for the first time from the tour bus, and we're going to see all kinds of art up and down the river. To the left of us, there's some fish hanging out underneath the freeway. To the right of us, there's a couple sculptures. One's that tree right there on the corner with the benches underneath it. The other one's on the river level. There's those fish to the left of us. There they are, hanging out under the freeway. Those fish are made out of fiberglass. They're going to light up this evening. This is a real nice stretch of the river to take a stroll on. And to the right of us, there's that other sculpture called the Grotto, 3 stories tall, made out of concrete. You can see the sidewalk goes right through the grotto there. You can take that sidewalk from here all the way down to the River Center Mall if you wanted to. It's only about 2.5 miles. And you would find art all up and down the river in those 2.5 miles. For example, one local artist recorded sounds of nature from up and down the San Antonio River. And those sounds are played back in a continuous loop under one of the bridges. So if you guys are walking along the river walk and all of a sudden you hear strange sounds, you might wonder to yourself, what in the world is that sound? Well, that's the sound of art. Speaking of the sound of art, our next stop is the San Antonio Museum of Art. Before we get there, though, I want to show you Armadillo Boulders just to the right of us. That's a climbing gym now, but it used to be the North St. Mary's roller skating rink. And I know that probably doesn't mean much to y'all right now, but that information will come in handy here in just a few minutes. San Antonio Museum of Art is built in the old Lone Star Brewery building. This building we're about to see was built in 1886, so just 3 years after they built the Pearl. The big castle-looking building down there on the left-hand side of the road. The old Lone Star Brewery building, the San Antonio Museum of Art. The Museum of Art opens at 10 a.m. and it's closed on Mondays only. It costs about $20 for an adult to go in there and have a look around. It's a pretty cool museum, though. They've got everything from paintings of all kinds to Egyptian artifacts to Greek statues and Greek pottery. Stop number 3 is coming up right up here for the San Antonio Museum of Art. This is stop number 3. Do we have any art lovers on board today? No? That's all right. Most people don't come here just to visit our museum. Some people have stopped in there, though, while they were here, and they quite enjoyed it. You can get to the river from behind the museum through this gate coming up here on the left. A little restaurant back there as well. And as we cross this bridge coming up here in front of us, if you guys look to the right, way to the right, almost around the river bend there, you'll see a big white house with flags in front of it. There's that big white house with flags in front of it. That is VFW Post 76. It is the oldest VFW post here in Texas. Founded all the way back in 1917 by the veterans of the Spanish-American War. That beautiful old house it is in. It was built in 1904. VFW Post 76 is open to the public Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And they have the cheapest beer on the river, you guys. If y'all go in there and buy one beer, it's just $2.50, but buy 2 beers, and guess what? It's only $5. This is stop number 4 right here. That's VFW Post 76, the oldest VFW post in Texas. Right now, though, that old house is closed. You can still go to the post, though, get yourself a beer, whatever else they've got there. The house is closed for remodeling. They had a flood of some sort a few months, well, I think it was quite a while ago, back around Thanksgiving. Anyway, stop number 5 coming up here is for Augie's Barbecue. I picked up dozens of groups here over the last few months, and their reviews for Augie's range anywhere from just okay all the way up to it's amazing. So this is stop number 5 right here for Augie's Barbecue, somewhere between just okay and amazing. Just like your bus driver. Augie's is half a block up on the left. It is open for breakfast. It opens at 7 a.m. Wednesday through Sunday. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Next stop coming up here is for the Wyndham Garden Hotel and the Bourbon Street Seafood Kitchen. I have heard nothing but good things about the Bourbon Street Seafood Kitchen. It's Cajun food, and I hear that it's Creole good. Just to the left of us on the river is the top of the lock system. It is about a 15-foot drop to the river below. And back before COVID, of course, you could take a riverboat taxi all the way from the River Center Mall to the Pearl. You got to go through those locks. It was really fun. Since the river taxis aren't running right now, though, the only thing those locks do is remind me of a joke. What does a fish say when it bumps its nose? Damn. Stop number 6 coming right up here for the Wyndham Garden Hotel and the Bourbon Street Seafood Kitchen. Food better than my jokes. This is stop 6 right here. Oh yeah, time to take cover, you guys. Smart move. All right, as we leave stop number 6, tell you guys a little bit about this all-girls school here just in front of us, just across the street from us. That's the Providence All-Girls School. What's so interesting about an all-girls school, you ask? Well, there was a young man here in the 1950s by the name of Johnny Cash. His first... If you guys are interested in the riverboat cruises, you can find the ticket booths and the riverboats at stops 11 and 19 on the tour today. I'll be sure to let you guys know when we're at each of those stops. Crossing the river again, we can see some more of the art all up and down the river here. These hands waving to us on either side of the bridge. The artist's name is Rolando Briseño, and he actually has art on the bridge just north of this one as well. Stop 7's coming up right around the corner here, and it's going to serve 3 hotels, all to the right of us. The El Tropicana Hotel, the brand new big shiny Thompson Arts Hotel, and a little hotel over there called Hotel Indigo. The Tobin Center is also just in front of us across the street here. I'm pretty sure you could get there from here. This is going to be stop number 7. Oh, if you guys want to go kayaking, talk to these people right across the street here. They can hook you up with a kayak there. You can actually kayak around the businesses here on the Riverwalk early in the morning. And you can kayak on other parts of the river all day long, of course. Tobin Center here just to the right of us, built in 1926 as the Municipal Auditorium. 2014 is when they added all that fun metal work on the back. That metal work is going to light up this evening. Different colors and different patterns, of course. And Paul McCartney himself did a fundraiser for the Tobin Center. That was nice of him. As we approach stop number 8, if you guys look just to the right, you'll be able to see the front of the Tobin Center. A beautiful old building. Certainly don't make them like that anymore. Stop number 8's right up here where these trucks are. It's going to pull to the front of it. But this is Veterans Memorial Park. Just to the right of us there is the Korean War Memorial. That's on the north end of the park. On the south end of the park is the Vietnam War Memorial. And right there in the center, just to the right of us, that's the MIA and POW flagpole. This is stop number 8 right here for Veterans Memorial Park. That building to the right there, that's not part of the park. That's the AT&T office building. I'm not exactly sure what goes on in there. I think that's probably just where they count my money. And that can't take very long at all. It is a pretty cool old building, though. It's quite ornate. It was built in 1930. Our next stop coming up here is going to be for Travis Park and the St. Anthony Hotel. So Travis Park is built on land that used to belong to a Mr. Maverick here in town. Mr. Maverick was a businessman and politician, and he's the reason we have the term he or she is a maverick. He was known for not always following the rules. When he died in 1870, he left part of his orchard to the city, making Travis Park, just to the right of us here, one of the oldest parks in Texas. Not much going on there today. St. Anthony Hotel is just across the street from us there on the right-hand side. And this is stop number 9 right here on the corner. Stop 9. St. Anthony Hotel was built in 1909 and was one of the most luxurious hotels in the United States when it was built. What made it so luxurious, you ask? Well, it had a telephone in every room, and half the rooms had their own private bathroom. That was luxury back then, you guys. By those standards. I live in a luxury apartment here in town. You certainly wouldn't know it by looking at it. I'm just kidding though. St. Anthony Hotel really is a beautiful hotel. If you get a chance to peek inside, you should do so. In 1935, it became the first hotel in the world to get air conditioning, and in 1954, it hosted Johnny and Vivian Cash's wedding reception. Our next stop coming up here is going to be for the Buckhorn Saloon and Texas Ranger Museum. The Buckhorn Saloon was started by a young man named Albert Frederick. Albert was a cabinet maker, and then he started making furniture out of antlers. So he needed a bunch of antlers, and people needed something to drink. So he would trade you a mug of beer or a shot of whiskey for any antlers you brought him. And that led to the world's largest collection of antlers, which includes a world-famous 71-point buck. The saloon here actually has some pretty darn good grub. Or you can pay a small fee and go through the museums. The saloon opens at 10 a.m. And stop number 10 is going to be right up here in front of the old Crest building. Here's the Buckhorn Saloon, just across the street from us on the left. And this is stop number 10 right here. In 1921, there was a big flood here in downtown San Antonio. There was 20 feet of water here in the city center. That flood covered the first floor of all of these buildings. That flood is also what gave birth to the idea of the Riverwalk, so thank you very much, flood in 1921. Part of what makes the Riverwalk work is a series of gates on the river. They can open and shut those gates and control the height of the water here around the businesses in the city center. There's also a large bypass tunnel goes underneath the city. They can open that tunnel up on the north side, kind of by the Pearl there, and let the heavier waters in the San Antonio River flow underneath the city instead of coming right through downtown. Our next stop coming up here is going to be right in front of the old Sheraton Gunter Hotel, built in 1909 as well, and easy access to the Riverwalk and the riverboat cruises from this stop. It's just left across the street in front of the bus down 2 very short blocks. The stairs on your left will take you right to the ticket booths for the riverboats. And also coming up here just in front of us on the left-hand side is going to be the beautiful old Majestic Theater. It was built in the 1920s. It's getting ready to reopen again for the first time since COVID. We have The Lion King coming here this year. We also have Hamilton coming here to San Antonio. We're all super excited about that. And if you guys have seen the movie Selena with Jennifer Lopez, there is some footage of Selena singing in the Majestic Theater. It really is a gorgeous theater. Stop 11 coming right up here again, right in front of the old Sheraton Gunter Hotel, built in 1909. And the Riverwalk's just 2 short blocks to the left. Stop number 11.